Oh, I'm looking ghostly. Right, well, I'm up early to get the cows in. Our cows are still out, which is good. As long as it's dry, we've got enough grass in the fields. They seem happier out, but basically, I'm happier when they're out because let's face it, once they come inside, that's the start of a very long winter for me. We've still got some good grass. The grass is not as good this year as this time of year as it would be in the spring. Hasn't got the sugars and stuff. But what we're doing is I haven't opened the clamp yet, but we're going to buffer feed it. We're actually putting a few round bales out in ring feeders, so they got some extra sort of fodder. But how well can you see this? There they are. Loving it at this time of morning. I hate it, it's so dark, grim. Anyway, we'll have a little quick look at the grass in the field when I go back along and move the fence, and then I'll just show you. I'm starting getting the cubicles ready at the moment, just sorting out the mats, which is what they lie on. But in the meantime, I'm still dark. Look, if I turn this off, the camera doesn't like it. It tells me the lens is shut. What was it, about 20 to 6 in the morning? When the clock's changed, at least I get a bit more light in the morning. Right, let's see you when it's light, please. Ooh. I bet you're all, half of you are watching this up in bed, aren't you? Toasty. And behold, daylight. How about that? You know, do you know what? It is amazing actually how I feel very first thing in the morning. When I get up in the dark, I do have a gloomy feeling about myself. You know, I don't know, light and day makes a big difference. You know, I get up and it's dark, and if it's raining, that's really bad. And you go out and you're like, oh. And then suddenly, I always find this, I feel a lot lifted once sunlight comes up, or the sun comes up. I just missed a really lovely sunrise over there. Look, here's a photo. So that, I wasn't switched on enough to switch the camera on when that was coming up. It's lovely. Right, I've just moved the fence. There's my battery, I'll come back for that. But you can see, can you see the line? That's where they're grazing to, the cows. This is all, this grass is not bad actually, for this time of year. Oh look, there's a couple of pheasants, can you see? Look at that. A bit wobbly on the camera, I'm afraid, because it's a long zoom. So look, there's the fence line. I roughly know what they need, but we're running out of grass. Let me just put that down there. Oh, God, it's heavy. Let's just zoom back in. I can hold the camera a bit better now, look. Come on, mate, where are you? Where's your friend gone? He went over there, didn't he? Where are you? Oh, there we are. That one's a bit more spooked. Nice to see a pheasant out in the field. Yeah, so what I'm grazing here now is still good grass, but what's happening now is nothing's growing really. The season's sort of come to an end of grass growing. If you've got a lawn, you'll know you probably might take one more cut or something, but you're not going to cut it much. Right, I'll just pick that up. Spencer, you're not going to cut much grass now, are you? And it's the same for me. I've got, you know, a bit more grazing in front of me, but not much. And then really that's it, game over. The cows are in, because they don't want to be turned out onto an empty field. A bit like if you went to a wedding and there was no buffet, you'd be like, what? Come all this way for nothing? Right. Right, so I'm going to get the cows now, and then I'm going to get on with these flipping mats, because it won't be long till they're in on them. Let's crack on with the mats. I'm just driving back along to let the cows along. You just see here, this looks like mud. Interesting thing is, when we put the when we dug the lagoon that I showed you in a video the other week, which I've now deleted because that was my one reveal on it. We used some of the stone we got out of the lagoon to do a track along here, so the cows can walk along here, not in mud, which is a lot better. You can see there, look. So that means they haven't got to graze that bit, they haven't got to destroy that bit of pasture. Right, I'm gonna get them along. Some of the subsoil we got from the lagoon is still over there in a big pile, look. There it is. And the cows are along there. Right, let's get them in here. If any of you managed to catch my lagoon video, it was up for 24 hours. I basically showed you what I did. I said to you, if you've missed it, I explained I wasn't comfortable doing it all, and it was a real kind of problem, difficult job. And so I put up 24 hours. You had a chance to see it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. You'll probably catch the lagoon in other videos, but that was my kind of explanation of why we did it and whatever. So it's done now. Some things can be a little bit painful. So anyway, there's the subsoil, which is gradually being put out in different places, and the topsoil. Right, let's get these cows along. Come on in! Come on! Come on! Come on in! Come on in! Come on in! Come on! Come on in! Come on in! Well, it ain't gonna be long till the cows are in, I know that. It's getting to the stage where they're not happy being out now, really. I'm just in the cubicles, just having a quick look round, really. It's always that time of year where you've got to sort of prepare the beds for them. There's not too much to do. All I've got to do is sort out a few of the mats that are looking a bit ropey or a bit lifted up. Like this one here, look, left over from last year. Got a lot of straw under it, but if you come up here, I've got a couple of mats with splits in them. Look, this one here is knackered. That's got to come off, that one. And let's have a look. So these are all okay. I'm going to clean out the water trough. That's pretty manky. Look at that. They wouldn't want to drink that. I wouldn't want to drink that. And then there's another mat gone here. Look. This one's definitely had it. And what I'm going to have to do is find. Oh, there should be under here somewhere. There should be a clamp. Where is it? Oh, it's snapped off. Look, I might have to drill a new one there. That's got to be replaced. And I've got the replacement mats here. Look, these are heavy duty, really heavy, thick rubber. They got a groove on the bottom. I never know which side to put up first, actually, the groove or the spots. That's natural rubber. They're so heavy. Right. So I might only get one done this afternoon. I'm gonna clean that off, and then undo the clamps. Try and get the mat on there. I don't know how. It's always the problem. All the bolts are normally seized up. So best case scenario, I'll brush it off and I can get it undone really quick. Worst case scenario, I'm going to be there with a bit of beeping. Right, let's crack on. Moo cows in soon. Right, let's have a look at this. So we've got, this one's been down ages. These here, they're sort of like a foam, and they're really old. We've had this one ages, because the other one's a solid rubber. Look, so I've got one clamp there, one there, one there. Oh God, one there. I don't really think we need all those clamps. I'll see what I can get undone. My biggest worry is they'd be all rusted up. Right, so let's get a spanner on those. Oh, right. I'm here, look, I've got my tools, look. A little bit of grease. If I can get those bolts out, I'll just put a little bit of grease around the thread, so that maybe next time if I take them out, in another 10 years time, when I'm even older and wrinklier, they'll come out all right. Wire brush for just brushing off the crud around the top of the, dear, dribbling a bit. It's becoming an age. Sorry about that. Right, 4,000-year-old socket set. Right, I'm guessing these would be about 13 mil. So I'm going to sort that out. Right, just talk amongst yourselves while I look for a 13 mil. Look at this, look. So when these first came, these, brilliant, isn't it? When they, just drop one. When they first came, I haven't lost one yet, but they came in a lovely little tray thing where they were all organised in size and everything like that, and that disintegrated years ago. So now I've got this pick your own, guess what size. Oh, actually, what's that one? That's not even 8 mil. No, that's no good. Right, I'm just going to sort these out. 12 or 13, I reckon. That's 11. Oh, just to say thanks, by the way, while I'm just doing this. Thanks to everyone who's bought a calendar from me. That is appreciated. They've sold quite well, and you might have seen I put something on Facebook the other day. You know, obviously I do this stuff to make a few quid and stuff, and it is to try and help us out and keep the family going. But I did actually decide to give a little bit back to the community where I live, which I think is always important to do, and something my dad was always part of, really. So I bought my local secondary school for 24 training footballs. Mitre training footballs, and it was purely down to a chance conversation with I know one of the teachers there, and he said, oh, do you know what, it's rubbish, we've got really rubbish kit, there's no money to buy decent footballs and stuff. And do you know what, I just thought, you know, what are we here for if you can't help people? Because it's all very well, you see, my son goes to that school, so okay, I've got a bit of self-interest, but isn't it funny how you can sit there and go, oh, that's terrible, but actually, do you know what, you can make a difference yourself with not masses of money. So it was a reasonable chunk, but you know, will I miss that when I'm in the old people's home? Probably not. Will my kids miss it when in the old people's home? Probably they will. Go, Dad, I wish you'd get that money. But do you know what, it's just a good thing to do, isn't it? So when you buy a calendar off me, you're not just supporting our family, I'm trying to do a little bit for the area, it's not just about me. Anyway, on that note, change the subject. Go and get one if you want one on richardcornock.co.uk. In the meantime, I've got a 13 miller, and eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which one of these is a 14 mil? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Not that one. That's a 12 mil, that's a 12, I thought that was a 12 mil. That's a 14. Right. We want a 13. Do you know what? 13. There you go. Right, we got 4 to choose from. Gonna go for that. I'm reckoning. Oh, it looks to me. Looks like one of them might be 16. Let's go and have a look. If I remember now, they're different size. There's about 2 different sizes of bolts here, because just to make it difficult, that's what we did when we changed the mats. So these bolts are bigger than those. I reckon that's about a 12. Nope. That one. 13. Oh dear. This could take some time. Flipping it. Why on earth do we need a bolt that deep for a little cow mat? I'm sure some of the other ones are about that long. Look at that. So, another 3 to go. I knew it. It snapped off. Look. So, let me just tell you, I could tell when I was undoing that one, it wasn't going round. This is what happens, they seize up inside the hole. Can't even get that out of there now, look. Can you see that? It snapped right off. I'm wondering if I can just clamp it from the back with the two that I've got undone. I've got one more to undo. I bet that's been... God, my eyebrows need trimming, don't they? Oh, this is something they don't tell you when you're old. Look at this. Going thin there. Hairy ears. Eyebrows need trimming. They don't tell you this when you're old, do they? When you're young. This is what happens. Right. Well, one more to undo once I've got this one out of here. Ooh, I thought the tripod was going to go over then. Right. That's better. I zoomed out. Flipping, I can't get it out. Oh, it's just... Right, I'm just going to go back down to the workshop and knock that out. I think I'll just get a punch down the hole there. Bloody... Typical, isn't it? Right, see you in a minute. Back again. Nut free. I am nut free. Right, let's try and get that one out now. Last one. My bolt. Look at that, that one's alright. The thread's gone a bit rotten at the top, but certainly alright if I stick that back in. The secret is, when you start pulling this all out, you stick these back in the hole until you actually start putting the clamps on the new mat, because otherwise the dirt falls down the hole and you end up with a flipping nightmare trying to get them back in. So all I've got to do is now pull this mat out, give that a bit of a clean off, and then put the new mat in. Sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's taking me flipping half an hour to do each one. Oh, the times you do these sort of jobs and no one realises. It's not all about milking cows. It's about the day-to-day stuff that doesn't actually appear on Country File. I'd like to see Matt Baker come and do my cow mats for me. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Look at that, look at the crud under here. Look. Yeah. Right, so just going to pull that out with a shovel and then we'll get the new mat in. The ace of spades, the ace of spades. Win some, you lose some, the ace of spades, the ace of spades, the ace of... Okay, it's not a spade, it's a shovel. Right, I don't know where Harry gets from, do you? Right, let's get this scraped out and then we can get back into some normality. Yeah. If you're thinking, why is he using an aluminium grain shovel when he should be using a steel shovel with the better edge on it, it's just because I'm too lazy. I couldn't be bothered to walk down the workshop and get the other one. So this is actually for grain. Just give that a brush out and then hopefully I can drag the mat in. Done. Right, so now I've got to move that mat. That's always a killer. Blooming, these things are flipping heavy. It's sort of advertised as dual. It's a horse mat stroke cow mat. Well, basically it's a lump of rubber, isn't it? And whoever they can flog it to, isn't it? But I'm pretty sure that it won't fit like those cubicles, because the cubicles are a bit too wide, so I'll probably have to cut a few chunks out. The good thing is they're much, you know, the old one I took out, this is sort of foam based. This thing here is much heavier, and because of that it doesn't tend to curl up, because the problem with it is those sort of lighter foamy ones, they sort of curl up at the edges and the bits of straw go underneath them. They don't sit down well. So I'm just going to try and drag this one away. Bear with me, this is blooming hard work. Oh. There we go, just as I thought, too wide. So if I leave it that side, oh look, fail. These mats aren't long enough. It needs to be down this end, because this is where the udder is. Don't want it on the concrete, you want it on there. If I pull it back to there, it's too short. It's been a while since I fitted these, I forgot that's the problem. And of course I've snapped off one drill bit there. Come on, drill bit, one bolt there. Do you know what, I'm half tempted to stick it down and hope for the best. I'm going to have to cut little bits out. Look, let me show you, look. Too tight on there, look. You have to cut a piece out there and a piece there. And where's that? Clamps there. Oh. Right, these are definitely too far back. Nothing ever is simple, is it? Right, I bet my knife is blunt as hell as well. It will be. I got a nice new knife. Two people sent me knives actually. Really nice guy sent me one. I do agree from Ireland sent me a lovely knife he hand carved with a funky farmer on it. It's actually too nice for me to use. I don't want to use it because I'm worried about losing it. Another guy sent me a lovely knife with built-in Stanley blades, which is more for doing round bales. I want something thick and rough for this, so I'm going to just do this now. Right, so just cut some chunks out. Let's cut some chunks out of there. There you go, that's not bad. That fits. Right, let's do the same with this one. Right, that fits all right. There you go, not bad. Right, what I've done, I just cut a bit of this away to make it easier, and I'm going to put the clamp on there. Brilliant. I'm going to put a bit of grease around that. The problem is now that clamp
isn't designed to go over the mat. Ugh. I might have to find a different bolt. Or
okay, as usual, this is getting more complicated than I wanted it to be. I'm going to see if I got a longer bolt than that down in the workshop, and then I can put it down on the clamp. Oh, happy days. There we go. That's better. We'll try one of those. Bit of grease on the end. And we'll put that in the hole. Right. I think I'm going to make that do. That one there, I started to undo and it felt like it was going to snap off, so it's left. So basically now, I'm going to make that do as a mat. Well, these have got to be the best kept cows in England, haven't they? Okay, Titherington. That's the cow mat, that's for them to sleep on. Should do all right. We'll check back in the winter when they've been on it a while, whether that's peeled up on that side, but I think the weight of the mat will be all right. But the idea is they don't sleep on concrete. It's a better night's sleep for them, or a better day to lie down on a bit of rubber. So I'm going to test it myself. What do you reckon? Oh. Night all.